Hi, my name is Jared Bendis. I'm the Creative New Media Officer for the Freedman Center for Digital Scholarship here at the Kelvin Smith Library here at Case Western Reserve University, and you want to borrow one of our thermal imaging cameras. Cool. Well, before you borrow it, we ask you to watch this video, and you're like, well, isn't it just a camera? Why can't I just borrow it? Well, it's not just a camera. Matter of fact, as cameras go, it's not a great camera. It's a very low resolution camera. Matter of fact, the images on this camera are actually all of 640 by 480, and that's not even the thermal imaging. Thermal imaging is only 320 by 240. Seems kind of low res, and it is, by the way, because it's not really meant to be used as a camera. This is a scientific imaging device. And so I want you to understand what this is before you borrow it and make sure we get things, settled properly. Now, let's first off talk about what's in the bag. What's in the bag? Well, we have the camera itself, we have a charging block, and we have a USB cable. And this is a standard USB cable, but there are two types of USB cables that you're going to run into. One of them is going to be power only, and one of them is power and data. This is a power and data cable, so please make sure you return our camera cable. And by the way, it normally says the word Flir on it, so you kind of know you got the right cable there. Now, when we start off, it's a very simple device, by the way. It's kind of weatherized, very, very kind of rubberized on the side. I go over here, I'll flip this down, you're gonna see that's where you plug it in, and you can plug it into your computer if you're trying to transfer the images, or you plug it in if you're just trying to charge it, straightforward. The other thing is, there's only two buttons on the top, one to take the photos and one to turn it on and off. Also notice that there's two camera lenses here. One of them is the thermal imaging camera, and one of them is the regular camera. And again, it's a really low resolution camera, pretty much used for reference. So let me come over here and let me grab it and turn it on. Now, when you turn it on, one of the things you're going to notice is it turns on almost right away, but don't be fooled. Depending on how warm the camera is, it's going to take a minute, up to a minute or two to turn on. You're going to see the words calibrating. So even if you see the image, right, and there it is, you can see the image, you're going to see the words calibrating appear on the screen, which means it's not ready yet. This has already been turned on recently, so it's actually fairly warm, but sometimes you'll even see like a loading button, and that can take literally a minute or two the first time you use it in a time, so it's okay to be fine. Now, it's kind of fun when you look at it, you're seeing the thermal imaging, and you're going to see that it's currently set to Fahrenheit. If you want to set to centigrade, you can do that. It's in there somewhere. It's a touchscreen, by the way, so it's kind of cool. You can actually use the touchscreen, which is neat. Also, you're going to notice there's a little bar on the side, which shows you the color range, and the color range tells you the top and bottom temperature that it's seeing. So when you take a photo, you can actually analyze based on the dot and then based on the side where you are. So there's going to be different things based on the color range of what you've got. It's really great if you're looking for hot spots or cold spots and things like that. And it's kind of funny. You're going to see how my glasses are reflecting. Obviously, my glasses are reflecting the heat, so you don't actually see through the lenses. And you can see, like, I've got a very warm face right now. It is pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Now, when I go to take a photo, it just took a photo, and it takes two photos, because right now this camera is set up in a mode to take two different photos. It's taking the regular photo and the thermal photo. And I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you basically the different settings on this camera so you can decide what's going to be best for you. All right, so there it is. You can see the little hotspots in my office and things, nothing too exciting. Let me come over here and click the screen, and if I click over here on this one, it's going to allow me to, there we go, image mode. This is the thermal overlap. This is the thermal only. If you can see, by the way, now it's just the temperature. And of course, it's just a digital camera. So you can do digital camera, just the thermal, or the combined image. And again, which one you want is going to be up to you. And then, of course, I can do that too. And then, of course, this I can align the distance between. So this is the distance thing, because basically you've got tell the digital camera how far away it is if you want the digital camera to line up with the thermal camera. So you set the distance of the camera. Right now it's set in feet. So if I say the image I'm looking at is 3 feet away, then that's going to allow me to tell me how these things line up. If you're only doing one, it doesn't really matter. So let me just put it back on, strictly thermal. And of course, now there is no distance really because it's strictly thermal. When you're looking at the thermal, you can see the low range and the high range in terms of the temperature that it's seeing. I can even change the color. So right now it's rainbow, but I could change it from rainbow to something called iron or grayscale or other types of things, rainbow high contrast. And you notice that the scale always is there, and it's always changing along with it as well. And if I come over here, and let me come over here, and actually let me show you the picture I already took previously. I click on images, and you're going to see there's my picture. There's the one photo of me, and then there's the other photo of me. And there's the other photo of me right there. And you see how that is the composite photo, because that's the mode I was in. If I wasn't in that mode, I'd get a different image. So you've got all these things to look at here. So pretty straightforward. What I tell everybody is when you're done with your camera, your best bet is to remove all of your photos, just as a courtesy to people. Let me come over here and hit the trash button, and I can delete the image. And there we go, I delete the current image. You can also do it from the camera. You can do it from the computer when you're done that way as well. So let me come over here and delete the images. Nobody needs to see my ugly mug. And now there's no saved images and the camera's clear and good to go. So pretty straightforward. One last thing to note, by the way, is there is no tripod mount on the bottom of this camera. That's not how this camera works. So really it's a handheld imaging device. And again, right now I've got it set in only in the thermal mode. But I come back over here and I want to set it in the composite mode. But if I do that, I do want to set my distance so that the composite is actually accurate. Anyway, go through the touchscreen, take a look. Remember, if it says calibrating, you've got to wait for it to do what it's doing before you're actually good to take your photograph. It's a device that requires a little bit of patience and a little bit of skill to use properly, but it's quite fun and quite useful. Again, not if you're looking for pictures, but if you're looking for thermal measurements. So enjoy, have fun, and let me know how it goes for you.